Here's what's coming up on today's show.
So with that being said, I think it's important that you work with someone who's willing to work with other financial professionals. Hello, this is Mark Silverman, managing member and founder of Silverman & Associates, and I'm also a certified financial planner professional. I want to welcome you to the Saving with Silverman podcast. I'm glad you're here. Each week, we'll discuss different financial planning topics because making smarter choices about your money impacts the quality of your life.
Mark, I got a quote of the week here, which I think is outstanding. It's from Harry Truman, former President Harry Truman. It's a recession when your neighbor loses his job. It's a depression when you lose your own job.
Right.
How about that?
It's only bad when it happens to you. When it's to other people, it's just sad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, a lot of people think, hey, it doesn't apply to me, it doesn't bother me at all.
That's true with everything, right? In politics, too.
Exactly. And
we'll do this and this, but no, I don't want that.
Yeah, we could talk about politics all day, but this is not that kind of show.
It's not, thankfully.
And I don't want to do that either.
Exactly.
So, and let's talk about renovation projects. And I thought maybe we could learn a few things about financial planning from the process of doing a home renovation.
Okay.
How about the contractor's discount? A lot of people need to remember that there is such a thing, and they want to find out about it, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the contractor's discount, and when it applies to what we do is, we work on the institutional side with clients. And so if you go directly to some of these companies and work with them, you're dealing on the retail side. So you tend to end up paying more, which in a lot of cases you don't even see because those fees are taken out, whether they're fund expenses or something in a 401k, et cetera. So there's fees that you don't see where we're dealing on an institutional side. And then us, being as a firm, we're an RIA, registered investment advisor, which makes us fiduciaries, and that term's thrown out a lot. Mm-hmm. We disclose all of the fees that you're paying, which, unfortunately with a lot of firms, whether you're dealing with a brokerage firm or you're even dealing with somebody that's trying to push an annuity on you, et cetera, they do have fees, but they're not going to disclose what those fees are to you. And quite honestly, they don't have to. Mm-hmm. So that's the big difference there. So, understanding that if you work with somebody like us, a lot of times you're going to get a higher level of service and a higher level of professionalism, but by the same time, you could be paying less than what you think you might be paying doing it on your own or with some other firms.
Oh, absolutely. Passing inspection is something that is always a pain. Every time I've ever talked to anybody who was going through some kind of a renovation, any kind of construction work, you got to wait for the inspections to make sure everything's fine before you can move on to the next step. And sometimes that is really a time-consuming process. And I guess if you're having any significant kind of work done to your home, then it's the same thing for you. But how does that apply to the financial world?
I think having like a team approach, because there's lots of different things that can be done, and having us as kind of your quarterback. I am a CFP, certified financial planner, so, I'm very well versed in all the different areas, not just investments, but estate planning, taxes, insurance, legacy planning, education planning, all these other different areas. And so I think with that being said, tax minimization is a big one. I think we can all agree no matter who gets in office next year, taxes are going to be going up. They have to be with the way that the government's spending money and all the money that we're giving out to all these different places and countries, et cetera. So, working with a CPA and making sure that we're minimizing taxes and having us in that conversation as well, bringing in the estate planning to maybe save some taxes in that regard as well. And so just making sure that you have one person that's kind of organizing and making sure that all your other financial professionals are on the same page and looking out for your best interest is really, really important. So with that being said, I think it's important that you work with someone who's willing to work with other financial professionals.
Well, if you're doing a remodeling on your kitchen, let's say, and you want to put in all new appliances and new cabinetry and new countertops and all that kind of thing, you're not going to call somebody who specializes in outside construction, like building decks and porches and things like that. So the same is true in the financial world, and we call it specialization. And, just like you wouldn't call a heart surgeon if you had a problem with your foot, you need to make sure that you're talking to the right person, right?
Yeah, and I think the key difference between us, and if you're listening to this show, there's obviously other people that tout themselves on the radio as well, albeit most of them are trying to just sell a product, i.e. annuities or these LERPs or insurance products, which, sound too good to be true, which, they are. But with that being said, I think it's important to, our big focus is on the planning, and everybody needs a financial plan. And if you don't have a plan, then you're just you're just aimlessly out there doing stuff. And, if somebody's just trying to shove a product down your throat and saying that this is going to solve your problems, it's not. At the end of the day, you want to know that you're going to be able to, whether you want to retire or not retire or just work until you die, everybody's got their own vision. But understanding that if you can't work or you do want to retire, how much do you need to save and how much do you have and what kind of income plan are you going to have once you retire? And so having a plan is really the only way that you can confidently do that, and making sure that all the pieces of the puzzle are working harmoniously to help you achieve your goals. And so we really focus on having a plan. A lot of people talk about a plan. I am a CFP, certified financial planner, so planning is what we do. And I would question, if you're working with someone that's not a CFP, ask them why or why not, or are they not a CFP, and see what they have to say. But it's really the best designation in this industry, the most recognized designation. And I think last time I checked, I'm the only one on the radio that's here locally that is a CFP. So it's important to do your due diligence. I'm not the only CFP in town, but I'm telling you here on the radio that I believe I'm the only CFP on the radio. So with that being said, you want to work with someone that's willing to put a plan in, that's not just trying to focus on selling you a product, but really focusing on a plan and giving you advice versus just pushing a product.
You've been listening to the Saving with Silverman podcast. If you have any questions at all about your financial situation, please give Mark Silverman a call. Again, his number is 520-333-7601, or go online to savingwithsilverman.com. For Mark Silverman, I'm Ron Stutz. We'll see you next time on the Saving with Silverman podcast.
The Saving with Silverman podcast is brought to you by Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, based in Tucson, Arizona. The show is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show on your favorite app today and never miss an episode. Just search for Saving with Silverman to find us, or visit savingwithsilverman.com to listen to past episodes, to contact Mark, and to learn more about how to make smarter decisions with your money.
Did you know that Mark Silverman also has a radio show? Tune in to Saving with Silverman Saturdays and Sundays at 3 p.m. on AM 790 KNST.
All matters discussed on this show are for informational purposes only. Opinions expressed are solely those of Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, and staff. All topics covered are believed to be from reliable sources. However, Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC makes no representation as to its accuracy or completeness. This show shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or investment advisory services to residents of any state other than Arizona or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Fee-based financial planning and investment advisory services offered through Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Arizona. Insurance products and services are offered through Silverman & Associates, an affiliated company.